All right, good evening, everybody. Tonight, this evening, to the Ultimate Objection Handling Masterclass, How to Achieve Financial Freedom in Network Marketing. So in this training, we're really gonna teach you something which you, in order if you wish to become successful with this business or any network marketing business, is what you got to learn. This is what you got to really create at. You need to really improve, learn those things. You really got to get good at it. And this is what, when we talk about, or when we talk, of course, the top earners who really build financial freedom with network marketing. They know, of course, very well how to handle any objection. In fact, they like it. They like when all kinds of objections are thrown to them. So you guys, everybody who's going to watch this and watching the replay, obviously, this is key here, which you can't be without it. You can't go around it with not knowing how to deal with it and how to answer. So I really want you to pay attention, pay notice, because those are lessons which can pay you actually big dollars. So let me just move here my slide. Now, there's really 7 skills in network marketing, which you need to learn. If you wish to really build a career with that, if you really wish to make a lot of money, you got to master these skills. There is unfortunately no way around. Now, does it have to take a lot of time? No, it doesn't. It just takes some time, which you just got to really immerse yourself in it and to learn it. So one is, of course, generating leads. If you don't know how to generate leads, it's great to write a list. It's great to meet other people and make a friend and meet their friend. But you also got to eventually learn how to generate leads also online, offline, really any scenario where you are, how to do that. Now, number 2 is, of course, inviting. You got to be great at inviting. If you can't invite, this is of course our bread and butter, what we do on a daily basis. And then, of course, you got to eventually learn how to present. Eventually got to get good at presenting. And again, as we always say, this is just skills. You learn to talk, you learn to walk, you learn to ride a bicycle, if you ride a car and so on, you can also learn them. And you got to get good in closing. And we're going to talk about closing today. You got to get good in starting new people in the business. You got to get good at that. You got to master these skills. You got to get great at promoting events and at training. So all those 7 skills, they are just key. And every top income earner didn't go because he was just the best in talking to people. No, because he learned all of those 7 skills eventually. Okay, you got to get good at all of them. Now, that's okay. It's not that complicated. It's not like what Sean does here in learning IT. I think I couldn't do that. But this is actually not so difficult. It is all about, of course, the persistence, the sticking to it. And of course, are you willing to learn something new? Are you really wanting a different life, or are you really wanting a change in your life? So then, of course, you better learn these skills as fast as possible. Now, just understand the PDF, the worksheet, of course, will be then there downloadable for you at the end. And we're going to go right into the training now, objection handling. Really the fundamentals. So really get excited because closing is actually a game. So you're going to have fun with it. I love closing because, it's really fun with the people or the objections, the things people come up with, and which, of course, most of the time are excuses. So you don't need to be scared. You don't need to think, I don't like it when they come up with the objection. No, have fun with it. Because, again, an objection may not be an objection to you. An objection may just be their paradigm, or them not understanding, or not the right time, but it doesn't matter. So don't be a bagger. Really, really important. Don't be a bagger, right? And don't be emotionally attached to the outcome. see, you don't need to, you don't have to, because you don't know what the person is going to do. You don't know what this person is going to decide. So just really don't be emotionally attached to the outcome. And then, of course, the next one is here. The reason they give us, you got to understand, that is usually not the real reason. Okay, it's usually not the real reason. And speak to them always, to your prospects, as you would be already in, or as they would be already in. You got to always speak like this to people, as you presume they're already in. You presume they make a decision that they are already starting with you. You presume that. And so then your posture is very, very different. Okay. Now, you got to also learn to close early and close often. You got to learn how to close early and close often. Now, I know this all sounds like, oh, do I have to be a salesman? No, no. So we're going to talk about that. So close early, close often, and be their coach and assume the role as a mentor. At the end of the day, what we are doing is we're giving people options. We're showing people a vehicle. We're showing people a way that they can change their life. We're showing people a way that they can have a better life. So we're giving them an option. At the end of the day, we are helping them. So I'm not selling them. I'm actually helping them to do something in their life which they couldn't do in their job currently. So I'm solving problems. And so them enrolling in your business is really not the big reward. Understand that. The big reward is them, your prospect, getting to work with you. You got to eventually become like this, that them enrolling in your business is really not the big reward they're getting, but it's the reward that they can work with you. So therefore, you got to step up. If you see, I always learned, like, okay, the person in the front of the room who does the presentation obviously makes most money. So eventually you're going to get there. Eventually you will want to be there. Because again, this is how it works. You got to step up. And again, like, I remember my first presentation, I was scared to death. I was like, oh, and I was bad. I was awfully bad, but it doesn't matter. I improved and I got better and I got better and I got better. So, you know, in everything we start, in everything, it doesn't matter what we start, we are bad, right? But it doesn't mean we need to stay like that. And also what you got to do is you got to speak power and you got to speak belief into the people. You got to speak power into your prospects and make them believe that they can do. Because most often, again, it's not that they believe in themselves. It's you have the belief in them. Okay, and of course, the objection, unfortunately, is often the biggest reason why they actually should join. You got to make that clear to them. The objection they have: no money, no time, whatever they put up is probably why they actually should really join. So you got to just make that clear and come across as a coach and coaching them why they should do that. So let's go and look into the 3-step framework, because this is really how objection handling works. It's a 3-step framework. So you validate the objection. Okay, you validate the objection. You confirm the desire, and best is to do it actually twice. And you do actually then coach and close. So let's say you say, hey, listen, I hear you. I hear you. But be honest with me, Sean. Is it really that you don't have the money, or is it just a polite way of saying, you know, because listen, I'm totally cool either way. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to help you. So again, hey, listen. When they say an objection, of course, I hear you, I get you, I get it, okay? But be honest with me. Just very simple, be honest with me. See, the posture when you say, be honest with me. Is it really that you don't have the money? You see? Or is it just a polite way of saying no? Because listen, I'm totally okay with either way. My objection here is just, I really want to help you. Okay, I just really want to help you. And so then, of course, the prospect says, well, yeah, it's probably, Dad, I just don't know, or I just, need help, or whatever the prospect is going to say. But after that, the prospect will say something. Will either give you another objection, or will say, you're probably right, which most of the time comes, you're probably right. And so, if the prospect says, well, really, no, I don't have the money. And then I would say, okay, well, cool. That's fine, Sean. But would you want to do it? Would you want to do it? So let's say Sean said to me, I really don't have the money. I mean, I really don't have it. I would still say, but you want to do it? Yeah? Do you want to do it? And let's say Sean says, yeah, I want to do it, but I just don't have the money. I really don't. And then I ask maybe again, are you sure, Sean? You really want to do it? Are you sure? And probably Sean says, yes. And so from here, then you're going to go close and learn, of course, some other scripts which you're going to use. But see, what I'm doing is I'm using a 3-step framework. And yes, I get the objection, but I do actually, of course, validate it, confirm the desire. The desire is, yes, I want to start, I just really don't have the money. And what I would, of course, look in this scenario is, well, how can we get the money? What could he sell, for example? So there's so many options then where we could look at if we really wanted to start the business, but I'm going to go into that in a second from here. So there's lots of possibilities. So there's 9 ways, in fact, to overcome I don't have money. So it's 9 ways. And there's actually even more, but we're just touching here on the 9 probably most frequent ways I don't have the money. All right. So number 1 is, of course, the 3-step framework. Again, validate, confirm, coach, and close. Okay. And then, of course, we have the feel, felt, and found. Now, this is a pretty old coaching, a pretty old teaching, but it works very well. And this goes like that. Hey, I know how you feel. I felt the same exact way. I was in the same situation. But look, here's what I realized. And always use realized instead of found. And what I realized is, see, the biggest reason why I needed to do it was because I didn't have the money, because I didn't want to be stuck, a year or 2 from now, still not having the money. I actually joined. So feel, felt, found. I feel you, body. I feel you, I get you. And then, of course, give, again, an option. And then we do have here, tell someone's story. So another way how to overcome, you just tell somebody's story, how somebody else who didn't have the money actually did overcome it. You could say, you know what, look, man, that really reminds me of my friend Randy. Now, Randy didn't have the money either, but he realized that if he didn't come up with the money, he'd be stuck forever having no money. So actually he looked around, okay, his house and all the things he could actually sell. And now, of course, he's earning a full-time income in the company. And he's really amazingly glad he did it, because, now he could actually buy as many TV screens he can get when he did actually sell his, because he needed that money. So let me ask you, let's say I talk to Sean. What do you have laying around your house that's not making you any money right now? See? See how they could come up with the money? Okay, so now here's another one, another story. Sorry, this is number 4. Who do you love most? So is another really, really great one. Now, that one you probably use with somebody you're really confident, you really have a good rapport, a good trust, but it's a great one. Pretty simple. So it goes like this. Listen, Mary, who do you love most? Maybe your mom, is it your grandmother, is it your husband? Who do you love most? And Mary says, well, my husband. Okay, well, awesome. Well, let me give you some hypothetical situation. Let's say your husband was pulled over, okay? And there was a case of mistaken identity, and they arrested him. So he calls you from jail. I mean, this is just hypothetically, right? And says, hey, listen, I'm in jail right now, Mary. It's a $1,000 bailout. Can you get me? Can you get me out? Let me ask you, then now me to you, of course, the prospect, would you bail out your husband? Would you bail it out? Who do you love most? Would you bail him out? Are you going to let him spend, the night in a jail with all those crazy people, or would you actually find the money, come up with $1,000 and actually let him out? So probably, most likely people say, yeah, I would bail him out. Okay, you see, who do you love most? Another great way to learn. Of course, to use when people come up, which I don't have the money. Now, another one is a good one I used actually quite often, is the Ferrari story. And a few years ago, we did take some leaders actually to Ferrari, so to Italy. That was really nice, and it was really, really fun. And actually there, we even met then the owner of Pagani. Pagani is another really great car. I mean, costs even more than a Ferrari. So if you think a Ferrari is the one, no, Pagani. But we took some leaders and leadership to retreat there. So Ferrari, could you Ferrari, another I don't have the money objection. Listen, let's say Adrian, if I can sell your Ferrari for $500, or I can sell your Ferrari for $500, but you really had to come up with that money in the next 24 hours, okay? Would you buy the $100,000 Ferrari for the $500? And would you come up with that money? And of course, Adrian would say, yeah, absolutely, yes. So awesome. So listen, I know you can come up with the money. So the question really is, how are you going to come up with the money in the next 24 hours then, right? So another really good one. Now, another one, of course, I don't have the money, could be where we are in life. So this is really good when you are actually presenting. So when you're presenting live, it could be a big presentation, it could be on a webinar, it could be on a Zoom call, it could be in a Starbucks where you're presenting, whatever. You could say, listen, here's the situation. If you don't have the money, the reason why you don't have the money, it's because we are in life right now, which is based on decision or lack of decision that we made 1 or 2 years ago, right? And the reason, why we are here today, again, is based on that, yeah? So where we're going to be in a year or in 2 years or in 3 years from now is based on the actions or lack of actions that we are take today. So if you wish to have more money today, but you are not taking the action, you will probably not get there. Or you could, of course, say, look, decisions, or actually the lack of decisions that we take today. So my coaching to you is make a decision to take action so that a year or 2 years from now, you're still not in a position of having to say, I don't have the money. If you actually go ahead and lock arms with me if you are coachable, if you are teachable, I'll help you get into a situation with Utopian Global where you never have to say, I don't have $500 ever again. Sounds good? So awesome. How are you going to get, or how are you going to come up with the money? What are you going to do? How are you going to come up with the money? And when again the person says, well, I don't know, again you go, what can they sell, right? So next one is, what's more powerful, you or the money? And another one, how you respond that is, well, listen, let me ask you a question. What's more powerful? Is it your lack of $500 or is it you? Are you more powerful than a lack of $500, or are you powerful enough to come up with the money? Are you powerful enough to come up with the money today? And if someone says no, then that's not somebody you actually want to really work with, because that person is not really, looking for solutions anyhow. So next one is, that's why I'm showing you this. See, another one to handle the objection, I don't have the money. That's exactly why I'm showing you this. Listen, again, validate, confirm, coach, and close. So listen, I get it. And that's why I'm showing you this. Because with who you are as a person, with your level of motivation, with your drive, and as good as you are with people, you should not be in a situation where you don't have $500. So I'm showing you this so I can get, or I can help you get out of this situation, of this scenario. So lock arms with me and we're gonna crush this, okay? We're gonna crush this. So this is number 8, last way, which I'm showing you today to overcome the objection, I don't have the money, is future pacing. I'm glad you don't. Now, again, I'm talking to the prospect. He gave me this objection and I say, listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm glad that you don't have the money right now. I'm glad that you don't have the money right now, because what's going to happen is when you get started, you're going to show this business to other people and they are going to have the exact same objection. And they're going to say to you, you know what, Sean, I don't have the money. You're going to be able to say, you know what, I didn't either. But I realized that the reason why I didn't have the money is because I hadn't taken the right actions. I realized that that was the biggest reason why I needed to get actually started. So I came up with the money. 12 hours later, I got started. Now I'm earning a full-time income. I'm helping other people become financial free. I mean, my dreams are becoming a reality because I made the decision to come up with the money. So John or Sean, I believe that could be what's happening for you. My only question to you today now is, are you powerful enough to come up with the money in the next 24 hours? Now, understand, in some cases, you can use multiple closes to get someone started, okay? So let's look at the DMO close here before we go into I don't have time. So I don't know, 15, 20 hours a week, dude, I mean, okay, come on. Even a lot of people who are full-time in our company, they're not working necessarily 24 hours a week, okay? The reality is we're all busy, right? I can show you how to crush this in 1 committed hour a day. So what this is about is actually buying back your time, you see? That's what it's about. It's about referring a few people who refer a few, who refer a few. If you could put, 2 to 3 hours of committed, focused, committed time, which I know you have. I know you've got an extra 2 or 3 hours a week, then you can get started or you can start some people actually even within your team. And you start earning income based, of course, on the efforts of not just yourself, but based on the efforts of many. You see, let's say you have somebody coming to a presentation. And we had the scenarios. And the person, live presentation that is, and this person's, whatever, stayed 1.5 hours, 2 hours at the presentation. And then the person says, yeah, well, I don't just have the time. Well, you just spent almost 2 hours here with me, and then you chit-chatted. So you're telling me you don't have the time? You just spend 1 or 2 hours here? Well, come on. That's not a real objection, isn't it? So see, when we do that this way, the person will say, yeah, that's actually not the real objection. So then you find out and get deeper, well, what is the real objection? Or of course, again, you do the soft close. And again, let's get you started. I'm going to show you what to do in this 1, 2, 3 hours time. Okay, so now where we are in life, it's also something which, what can I say, people are, of course, in different situations in their life. And again, we've got to use the feel, felt, and found situation there, okay? Because the feel, felt, and found situation could be, okay, well, I was there. I was in this scenario, or I know Peter was in this scenario. And, he just followed the system 1 hour a day, focused, and eventually crushed it. So telling someone's story, very good one as well, really, really key. And then, of course, the DMO close, the daily method of operation, which I just talked about. What people often think that this is actually, I don't know, gonna take them so many hours, because based on what they saw, because they attended a 1.5 hour or 2 hours meeting. So they think that's always the case. Let's say they, back in the times before COVID, which we did a lot of presentations in hotels and so on. So they attend the hotel and now they automatically think, well, that's what they have to do. No, this is just one way. There are so many other ways. They don't necessarily need to attend a 1.5 hour or 2 hours meetings, okay? And then where we are in life, the way to handle it again is I don't have time objection. Well, hey, look, Lachelle, I get that you don't have the time, especially with the baby now being busy. I mean, a lot of people don't have the time. A lot of people don't have the time, right? We are all super busy. But the reason why we are where we are in life is based on the decisions, again, or lack of decisions that we made 2 or 3 years ago. Where we're going to be in 2 or 3 years from now depends on the decisions or lack of decisions that we make today. And again, you refer just to the same method like in I don't have money. It's the same method. It's the same script. And now you have, of course, we call it BS story, right? So BS meaning really what I was sort of just inclining to say before. Let's say you may did a home event, yes? You may did a home event, invited a few people over to talk about a new concept, or share them something about the gold and silver, and they stayed, maybe had a few drinks, whatever, and then they say, well, I just don't have the time. Come on, that's BS. You just spent the time with me, so hanging out, right? So I know you have at least a couple of hours a week to put into the business. So listen, let's just get you started, right? And make sure, of course, you have report when you do that. So you can't do the BS BS1 if you don't have a great report with that person, okay? So, and then there's another one which we can use. It's also a little bit older one, which is win you over with paychecks. That's another way to handle the 8 ways to overcome. In the 8 ways to overcome, I don't have time. Okay, so how this works is, look, let's say I'm talking to Karen. Look, I don't need your time. 100 people that I don't know, introduce them to me, and I'm gonna win you over with paychecks. Okay, I'm going to win you over with paycheck. You may don't have the time right now, but you know, lots of people send them to me. And this is basically, so if you got a lot of time and you're showing it to someone who may be a doctor, lawyer, whatever, maybe they're just a very busy executive and they really don't have a lot of time, but they know a lot of people that you don't know. So if they introduce you to those people, then you can go and present on their behalf. And now, of course, this is a personal thing. You can do that, or you can not do that. You know, there's people who are doing that very successfully. Okay, but if you are hungry for leads and you had the time, okay, and you had someone who was powerful, who had credibility with a lot of other people, this is, of course, one way in the 8 ways which you really can use. Okay, I win you over with paychecks. Okay, let's look at the number 8, and that is why I'm showing you this. This is why I'm showing you this. I don't have time. This is why I'm showing you this. Well, you know, I get you. Again, we do the 3-step framework. I get you. Okay, I get that you don't have time. I mean, I know you want to spend more time with your family, for example, yeah, if they said this. I know you want to spend more time with your kids. Of course, you can only say this if the person has kids and told you, well, he doesn't have time even for the kids, all right? Or I know you want to spend more time with your girlfriend, or I know you want to spend more time fishing, or I know you want to spend more time, whatever the person said to you, right? The reality is if you continue, okay, work in the way you've been working, you're never going to have any time. See, this is about creating leverage and residual income that builds up over time so that you eventually can fire your boss, okay? Not need any more to fight traffic, live life on your terms. With your capabilities and your skill, I know you can do that. Again, we're putting belief into the other person. If you lock arms with me, if you're coachable, if you are teachable, I will not let you fail. So you see, these are the 8 ways, and again, there are more, but there's the most frequent 8 ways to overcome I don't have time. Now, let's look. I have to think about it. Don't we get this often? Again, same deal. We use the 3-step framework. And then we use the feel, I get you, felt, and found. Then let's now go into, of course, the what is really holding you back. So you could say to the prospect, listen, tell me what's really holding you back, because I know you're not procrastinating just for the sake of procrastinating, okay? What's holding you back? I want what's real, okay? I want a real story here. And the prospect may say, sometimes just I don't believe that I can do it. In some cases, they may be going to say, I'm afraid of rejection. This is really powerful to get now onto the bottom of why they haven't signed up. And once you received this info, you get on the bottom of it, you can then move into other clauses. So when they say that there's something else which is bothering, but you got to find that out. You got to find it out what it is, okay? Now, next one is, again, the where we are in life. Procrastinate for the sake of procrastinating. So again, you say, well, you know what? The reason why many people are where they are in life and don't have the success they want is because they procrastinate just for the sake of procrastinating. I don't want that to be the case for you. I just don't want that for you to be the case. And again, look at the clause in the I don't have money objection for this same method, okay? Now we have the Ben Franklin clause. And I learned that from also Matt Morris. So Ben Franklin clause is, hey, listen, what do you think good can happen in your life from getting started with me. And in the old days, you would basically, people would put out a pen and paper, and in the old days of presentation, they would put up the benefit, the good things and the bad things, and they let the prospect write down, or of course, or the presenter actually writes it down. So again, hey, listen, what do you think good can happen in your life from getting started with me? Well, now you make the prospect thinking. I may start to make some additional income. You may help them with a bit. I may gonna have a little bit more time. I may gonna win a trip. I may gonna build up my silver savings. I may gonna increase my wealth. So, you're gonna help the prospect a little bit, but let him think as well. And then you say, listen, what are the bad things? What are the negative things that can happen by you getting started? And usually not. Like, what's the worst thing that could go happen? You see? And this is a really good one, because the prospect is thinking, and you will see that he has more positive than negatives. Now, what does your gut instinct tell you? Another close, the sixth way of closing. Well, what's your gut instinct telling you, Sean? I don't think I'm good on selling, he may say. Well, what makes you think that? You see, again, I'm asking, what makes you think you can't? And he may says, well, I don't like to be sold, or I avoid shopping centers, or I buy everything online so that nobody talks to me. Whatever. I mean, whatever he says, yes. And then I would come up, okay, I get you. But what makes you think you can? And again, or you could, let him think and give you some reason what he comes up that they may can. So you listen, then you agree, and then you say, listen, look, I agree with you. I know you can do this. You've got what it takes to be super successful. If you're coachable and teachable, of course that is. I'm going to help you get there. Okay? And then the next one is biggest risk. Okay? How do we handle that? Well, listen, let me be real with you, okay? Be really real with me. What's your biggest risk in doing this? If you say yes tonight, or yes right now, what's your biggest risk? Prospect says, well, it's really the money. It's the $500. And we say 500 because just as a middle range, right? So your risk is not the 500. Your risk is the life you could have if you weren't afraid of getting started. So my coaching to you tonight is realize that there's really no risk at all. The risk is actually in not doing this. This is where the risk is. I think that's a bigger risk. Would you agree? And most likely the prospect says, yeah, that's actually true, because otherwise procrastination is holding me back. And he said, yeah, awesome. So let's get you started, and put out your hands. You're actually putting out your hands, and you're shaking the hands. And of course, you do the close there, because the hand gesture is like, yes, let's do that. Yes, let's lock arms. Okay. And then we have the Mark Twain. If you read Mark Twain, the Mark Twain close, projection into the future 20 years from now. Mark Twain said, well, 20 years from now, you regret more of the things you didn't do than the things you did do. If you look back over the course of your life, just the last 10, 15, 20 years, what do you regret most? Is it the things that you did, or is it the things that you never had the courage to track, never had the courage to do so? If they're really with you, the prospect that is, they'll say, it's the things I never had the courage to try. And this is really great to do when you're in front of an audience. This is really great if you're in front of a room presenting, when you're asking for the sale. Okay, so this is really, really great. Now, 5 ways to overcome. I have to talk to my spouse. How often do we hear that? So again, same deal. We use the 3-step framework. Don't think they give you permission. You ask for permission. It's really, really key. Okay. So what do you say there? You don't think she's giving you permission, or you don't think he's giving you permission? And the prospect, what? Well, you don't think she respects your decision and give you your permission to sign up? And prospect, of course, often says, well, give me the application. Why? Because the prospect is too, doesn't want, of course, to be, that he, of course, obviously, we always want to present ourselves as we are in power, right? And not the other person in the household, right? We always want to say, no, I have that power. So again, you use that after the 3-step framework, of course. You understood them and you said, yeah, understand, I get it. But this is really, really powerful, okay? And here's the way, actually, then why this works. In number 3, 1 or 2, of course. So listen, you said you want to do this, okay? You have to talk to your spouse, but you really said you want to do this, okay? Now, here's the way it works. Okay, so we have 2 options. Now, if you don't do one of these 2, it's not going to work, because what's happened is you saw all the information, you educated, or you are educated, and actually all that presentation, all what we have, you know that because you just saw it. If you now go home and you talk to someone or your spouse and try to educate them on your own, and you don't know everything about the business, you don't even have a presentation, they're going to prejudge you. They're going to probably say, no, we are not doing that. So I know you want to do this. And there's 1 or 2 ways. Number 1 is we go show them right now together. Okay, I come over to your house and I will present it. And that way, you know, she or he gets to see everything. Or, of course, you know, the other way, and that is number 2 is go ahead. Okay, you sign up, you go ahead and sign up and get started. The company offers a 14 days money back guarantee. So if you go home and you tell your wife or you tell your husband that you signed up with something, with Utopian Global, and you're really excited about it, and you see a way to achieve your goals and dreams, if they blow up and it creates an issue, of course, for them, we call the company tomorrow. It's easy. And they give the money back. We have 14 days money back guarantee. Where's the worry? Okay, so there's really, you have nothing to risk and everything to gain by going ahead and getting started now. So let's get you started. Okay. Now you could, of course, do product as a gift. The only problem, of course, with the precious metals, that's a little bit expensive, but I mean, you could do that. Let's say it's around Christmas time or birthday time, and whatever, you're talking to a good friend you really want to get on board, and I mean, you can maybe give them a free account to Utopian Global, or maybe even a gift voucher whatsoever. So the product is a gift. For this one, you know, you could say, look, get this as okay, let me, somebody could mute. That's okay. Thank you. So the product is a gift. Let's go back to this 5th or 4th way to overcome. I have to talk to my spouse. Get this as a gift for her, or do this as a gift for him. If you're selling, of course, what we are doing, a precious metals product, you know, maybe, look, we have such beautiful products. Give it as a gift. Why not? Do you think the person would say no? You give it as a gift, the precious metals, the gold or silver. I think everybody would love to have a piece of gold or silver, wouldn't they? So this is a really good way in that sense. We have those beautiful Kinder hearts. I mean, wow, every woman would be happy. Isn't it the case? Absolutely. So, and then of course, we have the number 5, tell someone's story. When someone else had, of course, the objection, I have to talk to my spouse. Okay. But actually went ahead and did it anyway. Now they have created obviously huge success, and their husband and wife is the biggest champion. So I always talk about stories. We have plenty of stories where the husband or the wife was really negative. I mean, really bad. I mean, I had situations, it was so bad that they wanted to even divorce. So if he wouldn't yet leave that and just get the money back, I mean, situations like that. So crazy. And eventually, of course, they did it anyways. And yes, in the beginning with lots of challenges, lots of, upsetting, but eventually pushed through it anyway and made great money. So let's go. The next objection, of course, I'm not a salesperson. 4 ways, again, to overcome. And one is good, your promise. Okay, good. Do you promise me you're not a salesman? And the prospect says, yeah. So I would say that to the prospect, are you promising me you're not going to be a salesman? Yeah. Also, because if you're a salesman, Mr. Prospect, there's a likely or a good chance actually that you fail. If you're a salesman, it's pretty good chance that you fail. And if you don't, if you think now when I'm saying that, what is Claudia saying there? Go back to the 45-second presentation of Don and Nancy Failer, the Salesman Syndrome. You have it there. Go to the website 45second.com and read the first 4 chapters and get the book. You will learn that salesmen, they could be great, could be fantastic. Most likely they are not, because they are not coachable and they are not duplicatable. All right. So again, I'm talking to a prospect. I'm saying to the prospect, good. He's telling me I'm not a salesman. And I tell, okay, well, are you promising me you're not going to be a salesman? And he says, yeah. Awesome. Because if you're a salesman, there is likely a good chance you'll fail, because here's the case. 95% of people in the world just don't like to sell. There's only about 5% of the population who actually like selling. So realize 95% of the people that would show this just don't like to sell. Okay. The fact is that you're not a salesperson. They're more likely to join because they see that you don't have to be a salesman to do that. In fact, this is way more of a sorting business, sort through business, than it's a selling business. You're just basically showing people what we have and allowing them to make a decision. That's what we do in a decision-making business, right? So here's what I know is true about you. You're never going to be pushy with everyone, okay? So people are going to love that and respect you for that. See, you actually create a stronger connection with your friends by showing them this and offering them an opportunity, an option to change their life. So what do you say? Do we get you started? Okay. What do you say? Do we get you started? Because we are showing options. That's all what we do. Another objection, I'm not a salesperson. Number 2, what makes you sure of that? Well, you say to the prospect, what makes you so sure of that? I'm not a salesperson. Are you sure? I think you are a salesperson. And prospect says, no, I'm not. Well, why aren't you? And of course, you listen to the reason what the prospect says. You know what? You sold me. I think you are a salesperson. You see, that's a good one as well, because the prospect is saying, well, no, I'm not a salesman because of this, because of this, because of that, because of that. Well, you just sold me that you're not a salesman person. So you just put it into another perspective, right? Now we have the feel, felt, found approach. You again say, you know what? I know how you feel, because was exactly what's going in my head when I started, you see? But here's what I found. what I discovered is you don't have to be a salesperson. It's just sharing a concept. People like it or they don't like it. If they don't like it, then you part as a friend. That's it. You just part as a friend. No worries, no question asked. And then, of course, number 4, tell a story. You know, again, the guy says, I'm not a salesman person. Hey, you know what? You remind me exactly of our, and then, of course, you tell the story. Okay. Our number, whatever, top income earner, or about this person or that person or whatnot person. In fact, I would, of course, tell about me in this case, because I don't like sales. You could actually use my story, and that's actually a good one. So my story is, if you know me, Claudia, I hate shopping malls. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I can't stand it. I don't like to go shopping. I don't like shopping. I don't like to be sold. And if I have to go shopping because I need something, I just hide. Basically, I just like the first thing when somebody comes, no, I don't want to be sold. I don't like it. I really don't like it. This is me because I'm an introvert. Yet, of course, it doesn't matter, because so I could learn this business by being not a salesman, by a salesperson or saleswoman, but by sharing this concept. So actually, you can use my story, because I really, I'm not a salesperson, and I don't like that either. All right, so another one is in the 8 ways to overcome objection. I failed in MLM before. I failed in network marketing before. I failed at this before. Okay, so there's 8 ways, of course, here to overcome that objection. You didn't do it with me. Okay, that could be one. Well, understand, I get you. You didn't do it with me. Listen, here's what I know is true about you. And you could say, of course, if you believe that, I know your ambitions. I know you know a lot of people. You want out of your current situation. I know that if you actually lock arms with me, you're coachable and teachable. I know you can do that if you are. If you lock arms, I will not let you fail if you're coachable and teachable. Let's get you started. Let's get you enrolled now. Are you okay with that? Next, again, future pacing. That will make you a lot of money. You say, okay, listen, I'm glad that you failed before. I'm actually glad, because heck, I think it's like half of the population has done network marketing and a lot of people didn't succeed. So you're going to be able to say, you know what, that's exactly what I felt when I got started. I had failed before doing this, but I realized that this product, gold and silver, store, and all the other upcoming products, it's not a potion and lotion, it's actually real assets. When I realized that this product is so powerful, the system is so powerful, I'm super thankful that I did. Listen, I'm going to help you overcome that same way that I am overcome it with myself. Let's get you started now. Closing. Number 3, me too. Thank God I didn't give up. And again, you say, you know what? I actually failed in about 3 network marketing companies. You could say that, of course, I didn't myself personally. I didn't, because I worked for a corporate company in corporate. So I didn't fail other MLM companies before, because I was working for corporate. And really, it is my first one, which is, of course, Utopian Global, because this is where I started with it. Now, I of course, did take other nutritional products and stuff, but really for me, this is not the case. But there's others who did, many others who did. So let's say you could say, you know what? I actually failed in about 3 network marketing companies. I remember always Jordan Adler in his book, Beach Money, he says he failed in 12 network marketing companies, 12 before. I mean, Randy Gage, he must have, I don't know, been in 20 before, whatever, I don't know. So many. So you know what? I actually failed in about 3 network marketing companies, if this was your case. But thank God I didn't give up, because with this, I'm actually succeeding. And those other companies, it was just very hard. Here, I mean, I'm not telling you it's easy, but it's so simple. I've got a bunch of customers. They actually want to buy gold and silver. And I've got this going on. And of course, you only use this if this is true, right? And then you have the clause number 4 in the I failed in MLM before. So you say, you know, you might fail here too. Okay, you could say that. You might fail here too. You know what? You might succeed either. You may succeed at this either. Okay, you may succeed. But what are you going to regret more? You see, are you going to regret trying again? Or are you going to regret not having the courage to try? Okay, and then wait for them to answer. Most people take probably 4-8 seconds to make a decision to buy. Do not say nothing. Do not open your mouth. You wait until they say something. You are quiet. Okay? And then, of course, the number 5, biggest risk, question mark, the life you could have lived. See, you said to your prospects when he comes up with, I failed in MLM before, hey, what do you think your biggest risk of doing this is? If you do this again, what's your risk? Your risk isn't that you fail again. Your risk is the life that you could have had if you were not afraid of failing. So my coaching to you is, let's get you started. If you lock arms with me, if you're coachable, if you are teachable, I make sure I help you succeed. And you put your hand out and you shake their hand, and this is when we are closing. Okay? Now, number 6. I failed an MLM before. Ever had a bad meal? I did teach this quite a lot. Hey, you know what, Mr. Prospect? All network marketing companies are different, right? All systems are different. I mean, have you ever gone to a restaurant and you had a bad meal? Yeah, awesome. Well, did you stop going out to restaurants because you had a bad meal one time? No. So listen, with our products, with our compensation plan, with our whatever it is, of course, I mean, hopefully you can see that this is so much better than anything you would ever have done in the past. You lock arms with me now. You're coachable and teachable if you are. I help you succeed. Sounds fair enough? Sounds good? And then, of course, probably is going to say yes. Now, ever date someone you didn't marry? That is another way to overcome, I failed an MLM before. Ever date someone you didn't marry? Hey, let me ask you this. Did you ever date somebody you didn't actually end up marrying? Yeah. Awesome. Well, you're happily married now, of course. Only say this if the person is, right? I mean, thank goodness you didn't date that other person. It didn't work out. And of course, you decided, imagine if you had this one person and it didn't work out and you decided never to date again, you wouldn't have met your wife, which you're today happily married with, right? So could use that approach as well. Or, of course, we have the IBM, the CEO of IBM, Tom Watson, I believe he's gone already, close, which double your rate of failure, okay? This is also a good, of course, close when we come to, I failed in MLM before. You know what? I failed in a bunch of network marketing companies. In some cases, it's like drilling for oil, right? Sometimes you hit a dry hole, sometimes actually you hit a gusher. Obviously, it's based on our work ethic. It's based on your work ethic. But many of the companies, of course, I joined before, didn't have our products, like gold or silver, of course, our income-producing assets, right? They didn't have our services we have. they didn't have our system. And because I said yes to this, you know, I hit a gusher. I hit actually really the gold mine, in other words. So that's another way, of course, a good way actually, because we deal with gold, we deal with oil, and of course with gold. Sorry, did I do the Tom Watson close yet? No, I didn't, sorry. So the Tom Watson close is, and he was the founder, of course, of IBM, right? So he said, listen, if you want to greatly increase your chance of success, you need to double your rate of failure, okay? You need to double your rate of failure. So you can't be afraid of failing if you want to succeed, because the fact that you failed in the past and you're going to try again, you're way more likely to succeed. So my coaching to you here is lock arms with me. Let's get started. If you're serious about this, I help you succeed. Now, another one, of course, is it's a pyramid. 4 ways to come objection with this one. Again, there is more than 4, but I'm going to teach you 4 ways how to overcome. What do I mean by that? Well, you say to the prospect, when he says to you, it is a pyramid, and again, you got to have posture. Yeah, got to really do it with posture. Well, what do you mean by that? Or you say, well, what is a pyramid? What's a pyramid? And I make this posture like this. Well, what's a pyramid? You listen, right? And prospect says, oh, you know, it's where the person at the top makes all the money, and people invest money and all this, etc. Well, now this sounds illegal. This is nothing like that. And don't get into fighting mode, into the fighting mode there. Okay, just leave it at that. It's all about your posture. And then, of course, the number 2, overcome that is, of course, not pyramids are illegal. You don't think I would do something illegal, would you? You could say that. And prospect, I guess not. Awesome. Well, let's get you started. Again, don't get into the fighting mode. Okay. And then we have the Warren Buffett close. What's the Warren Buffett close? Well, do you think Warren Buffett is a pretty smart guy? Would you consider Warren Buffett to be a pretty smart guy? I think everybody on the planet would. You know, okay, we don't talk about Bitcoin in his opinion here, or gold or silver, but I think everybody on planet Earth believes Warren Buffett, I mean, he achieved a great deal of success, right? So the prospect says, if you say that, do you think he's a pretty smart guy? Would you consider Warren Buffett to be pretty smart? Yeah, sure. Well, that's awesome. Listen, Warren Buffett, and this is actually true, actually owns multiple network marketing companies within his portfolio. He owns network marketing companies being quoted as saying it's one of the best investments he ever made. So I figure if it's good enough for Warren Buffett, it's good enough for me, and it's good enough for you. Would you agree? Done with the objection. Another one, feel, felt, found again. This is where you educate, okay? Hey, I know how you feel. I felt the same way. It was a little weird. Like, I don't know if I want to be involved in something like this, but what I realized is it's a massive profession. Most people in this day and age understand that this is a very legitimate form of business. There's lots of books written about it. There's college courses on it, and it's really the wave of the future. In fact, I remember here some years ago when we started, actually quite some years ago, we had always Professor Dr. Sarah Zacharias come to our meetings in Frankfurt. He's a German professor. He taught on the University of Worms on network marketing. So he came and he basically gave a class on network marketing when we did have an event, a seminar. So yeah, I mean, there's actually courses taught on network marketing. So you overcome that with that. Now, did I have this? I have, yeah. Okay, so 5 ways to overcome. Now, don't like making, this is another one, of course. which people say, well, I just don't like making money out of other people. So people have really this objection there. I don't like making money of other people. All right. Well, that's how business works, right? And again, you do the feel, felt, and found. Okay, feel, felt, and found. Very important. You know what? That's really how business works. I mean, look, where are you working now? Well, your boss wouldn't pay you, right, unless you made him or her money, right? I mean, in the employment world, people pay money for their employees because the employees make more money with, of course, what they pay as expenses, right? And that's why, of course, they have employees. Again, don't get into argument, right? It's just, that's how business works. Another one, how to overcome that could be, do you like helping people? Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Prospect. Do you like helping people? Prospects obviously always says, yeah, I like, yeah. Awesome. Well, listen, that's really what our business is about. I mean, most people are going to live the same lives and they're not going to ever have a chance to achieve financial freedom. Would you agree? Well, by helping someone and at least offering this option, this opportunity, then you have the opportunity potential to ultimately change people's life. I mean, our company has done this. So, I'm my best example for that. So you just talk. Another one, of course, to overcome that. Are you mad or glad movie theater make money of you? Okay, so let's address this one. Are you mad or glad that movie theaters make money of you? Are you mad or glad? So you go out, take your girlfriend to the movies, you have a great time, realize the movie theater just made money of you. So you may make money, you may make an override, okay, on someone's commissions, but you're helping them ultimately. And they be glad that you make money off them because you're helping them an option for them to change their life, to have an option for them to change their life. Because if it weren't for you, they wouldn't have the opportunity. So there's another great one, how to overcome that. Do you really mean you don't like selling people? Do you really mean that? And often this is the real reason. So you go back and reference, of course, the salesman objection, if you get that. Now let's look at the next objection here. I want to do my own research. How often have you heard that? I want to do my own research. You say, listen, I have been doing this long enough to realize that I want to do my own research is just kind of like meaning I want to go Google and see what comes up, right? Just like anything, I mean, you can Google, the Boy Scouts of America. You can find places where they say Boy Scouts are a scam. You can also find places where they say it's awesome, it's amazing. So same thing is going to be true with network marketing. Okay, so you will have, of course, things said which are true about the company. You're going to find people who love it. You're going to find people who hate it. You're going to find people who say it's a scam. Here's what I know, okay? When I got started, I did because I trusted that person. What I found out even more is the company has won this award and this award, or has, basically this license or that license, or has this backing. I often quote, of course, Philip Judge, Jim Rickards, how it got started, the Precious Metals Fund, and so on. I often do that. Why? Because it's credibility, okay? And I use always this credibility. I always use, so let me, tell you. Do you think that Argo Horias, the top refinery in the world, Loomis, okay, the top storage facility in the world, Bill, who has his license there, or do you think he could be 12 years in business without being shut down by the authorities, 12 years if he would operate illegally. I mean, come on, you know better. So listen, I don't want you to procrastinate for the sake of procrastinating. My recommendation for you is trust me, trust the company. Realize that we got a solid opportunity, that if you're coachable and if you're teachable, I help you succeed. Sounds good? Awesome. So again, the 3-step framework, very, very key. The feel, felt, found, I feel you, I get you, etc., etc. Very, very key. Okay. So, and now let's look into the credibility and leadership credibility, because this is also really key on here. You could, for example, say, listen, here's what I know, Mr. Prospect. When I got started, I did it because I trusted this person, because this is, of course, true. When I got started, I trusted Bill. I knew Bill because I worked in this network marketing company where I was struggling myself, that is me, Claudia, and meaning I was struggling with my finances. I worked hard. I mean, I worked so hard, I wouldn't even go to toilet, believe it or not. This is not a joke. I wouldn't. I would really hold on till I really couldn't anymore. I wouldn't eat, didn't eat. You know what? I had the founder, well, not, okay, this the son of the founder died just last week. I made this announcement, come and it bring me pizza and literally stuffed it in my mouth. I didn't do the break because we had so many people calling who wanted to order product. It was crazy. I worked so hard. I even sometimes slept at the office. But then on top of it, so this was a crazy time. Of course, later on this time calmed down, but I had to look for another job. Why? Well, because yes, I made great money. I even made it up to a manager, even to the so what is it called? The assistant to the vice president of the company. It's a $1 billion company, so it's not a small company. What I was going to say, so what I was saying is, I wasn't making enough money. I had to have a second job just in order to, buy this nice luxury hotel retreat, where I wanted to go there with my girlfriend, or maybe take my mom out, because my salary wouldn't do it. So I was in this rat race, and there I met Bill at one of the meetings, and it was funny, strange. Oh, it's good. I had met, of course, his wife, which passed on many years earlier when I was in this company, but I really met Bill towards sort of the end working there. And I met him, and it was just, we had a really great connection. I knew of him, obviously, because he was the number one in the company. So he did actually open the German market. And besides his hotels. And so I knew everything he touches, he would turn in gold, because I saw his bonus checks. And they were just so much more than mine. He was making more money part-time. It makes me still sad, because it is sad, and at the end also happy, because you think of the struggles we had to go through, right? So he was making more money in 1 month, very part-time, very part-time, than I was making in 2 jobs the whole year. So that is, it's emotional for me when I talk about that, because that's the reality. So people have to get that. They have to grasp it. So this is actually my story. So this is why I say, listen here, you know what? When I got started, I did it because I trusted the person. I tell Bill's story. So pretty simple. So yeah, let's go to the next one. So I was finished. Okay, good. I actually finished already. That's it. I thought I had more to do. No, I finished with the objections I had for today. I think it was anyway, what time are we here? We are, 23 minutes into. Okay, I did it pretty fast or pretty slow. Is it 1.5 hours we are doing it? I forgot time. Anyhow, so this is my coaching for you guys today. I hope that you got some value out of it. I hope this was some valuable information. We're going to break it down, of course, in shorter segments. And with that, I'm going to answer some questions. Questions, guys?
Great.
Claudia, this is very, very strong. I'm sorry, Sean. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
Claudia, this is very, very strong. I do understand the principles when we're face to face, belly to belly.
Mm-hmm.
And I see where you're coming from in that regard. We do have to have a posture and be kind of defensive, because that's just what this is. Really, it's a who's going to win scenario with accuracy, with power, with truth. Now, the thing I want to interject is in regards to that medium that we have, which is social, on computer, especially in this COVID time. You're not really belly to belly, you got a mask on. They can't see your emotions except through your eyes. But in the age of social marketing, do you use the same basics in regards to bringing them forward to really do the business?
Yeah, the same deal, because at the end of the day, like I always get on the phone with somebody, I always get on a Zoom call with somebody. Listen, if somebody doesn't want to get with me on the phone, like face to face, and not show the face, it's anyway not the right candidate. So how can I work with this person? So eventually, it's never like, okay, so you may meet somebody on Facebook, you just chat, you started chatting, whatsoever, and you eventually see the presentation or whatsoever. Eventually, I got to get off with him and be on a WhatsApp call, right? On a Zoom call, face to face. I'm gonna see him. Yes, I'm not gonna join nobody who I didn't see talk face to face with. I mean, no, would be weird.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome. Because at the end of the day, they need to talk to prospects. I mean, you need to talk to people. This is people's business. We are not selling, again, we're not selling. If I was selling you a book, and I would, of course, build everything to the websites, and for that, it's a different case. I can maybe make a great video where I sell you why you need to read the book, but you don't need to have a conversation with me why you're buying this book. No, but here you're buying into a business, and so it's the same deal when I, of course, sell gold, or I mean, not sell, but I mean, when I talk about gold, I mean, eventually you got to talk to this person, because it's a trust thing there. But yeah, Sean, so you wanted to say something?
I just want to say it's a great presentation. It's also a good explanation, because the question that does come up a lot is the pyramid one. I've got my own story I usually tell to people in terms of that, about the artist and the art critic, in terms of that. But actually, it's a very good explanation that you gave there as well about how to deal with if something's a pyramid, if it's illegal, and how you use your facial expression is something I need to practice.
Yeah, big time. I mean, I'm like, for me, it's like when somebody asks me this question, oh, really? I mean, I'm like, this is posture. It's so important. Posture. I never forget it. I was actually meeting, I was in Holland, in Amsterdam. Actually, I was driving there with Bill. We were driving, where we were driving, I forgot. Anyway, I was meeting, okay, I forgot. But I was meeting Tim. He is from Norway. And Tim is Randy Gage, who's, of course, one of the super great coaches and mentors in network marketing, wrote, I don't know, a ton of books. I really like him, Randy Gage. He mentioned the guys from Norway, and he became my friend, the guys from Norway, how they basically learned so in his, Randy Gage did something which is called Duplication Nation. It was probably the first ever network marketing tool out there, where Randy taught how is duplication created in network marketing. It's a series. It goes for many hours. It's actually a recording of events where he teaches this to his folks. And so he mentioned Tim there. What I was saying there, so I became friend with Tim Tim went on to build a very large network marketing company. I think it was Nature's Own back then, in Sweden and Norway, in all the Scandinavian countries. And but anyhow, so why I'm saying that is because we were meeting with Tim because Tim was sort of in a little bit in the beginning, sort of advising us when we, started everything up with Utopian Global. Back then, of course, Joseph Valve Systems, and so we met with Tim there in Amsterdam, and we had having coffee in the airport restaurant there, because then we were flying somewhere with him. I forgot that boy, so long time ago, I tell you. That was probably 2007-ish, something like that. Really in the very early, it was just when we set up the company, right? And so there was this waiter, and he was asking Tim, well, we were just talking what he was doing. He said, well, I'm a network marketer. And the posture he had, I wish you could see that. The posture was like for me, it was just my beginning days. It was my early, still scared, still this. The posture he had was just, he had a $1 billion posture. Not $1 million, he had the $1 billion posture. He just had that posture. And I was like, wow, I was so impressed because he knew, and because he had done it, he built very much wealth. And as a young man, only in his 30s, he became very, very wealthy in his 30s. Very, very wealthy, that is. So he's now in his late 40s. So meaning like this posture, this is so key. And we got to learn that. We got to if we don't treat this business like a multi-million-dollar business, we are not having the right posture. We've got to have that posture, because this is what it is. This is what it can earn you. It can earn you literally that. That's what people make in this industry, but you got to become a professional. So if you and this is why with Eric Rohrer, all those guys, they're always teaching about, this is a real profession. But as any profession, we've got to become professional, right? Any questions?
I just want to add something on when Reggie mentioned as well, the society is changing with people wearing masks, and sometimes difficult to see people's posture. But just something I picked up from another network marketer the other day is, if you do like a Zoom at the end, would be good if everyone turned the cameras on, because if you do share that Zoom with other people, they can actually see you on that Zoom call, and you were a part of it. So at the end, when the host is presenting, turn on your camera so your face come up in a block. And also, if you're to build in that extra face-to-face type of thing, you need to do a Facebook Live. Invite one of your team members, your people as fellow people in your company. Invite them onto a Facebook Live and have a quick chat about the business, so they can see that it's real. Mm-hmm. Another way.
Yeah. No, very good.
A little off the beaten track, but I just thought I'd throw that out to Reggie.
Good. Any other questions you guys have? And again, I have the whole script for you. The whole script you guys are going to have. We're going to upload it as well into the back office eventually. So we just need to do some uploading there of all those documents. But I'm going to give it to you as well into the groups and into the Facebook, so you can have it, and you can rehearse with it. But of course you got to talk to people, right?
Thank you. So I have a question.
Yep, Michelle.
I have a question.
We hear you 5 times.
I know.
Michelle? There you go. Okay, you muted yourself. I guess maybe it's the phone. If you have the computer on and the phone, maybe just try one device, because usually it could be that this is interfering. Okay. Okay, Michelle muted herself. She's probably trying. Michelle, if you can't get it fixed, just send in the question. But otherwise, or let me know later on through the group, and I can answer that. Anybody else has any questions here today, tonight? No? All right. Well, then I don't want to take up your time so long. We're going to have another training, of course, on Thursday night. Hopefully my internet works because I am moving.
Hello?
Right. Yeah, Michelle. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we can.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Because I did have like the tablet on as well.
I see.
So while you were talking, thank you so much for all of these tips because these are really good. But while you were talking, I was thinking about like also just kind of redirecting people to the Utopian Global website. Like for me, I found the website was so informative and so clear, you know, so I'm just wondering like what, you know, like if that's something you would encourage, because I personally, that's what I've done. And I haven't had, with the Utopian Global, I haven't had that much, I could say rebuttals or, you know, rejections once I forward them to the website and they're like, oh, wow, you know, and they understand and see how real Utopian Global is. And then I think for me, what I was focusing on was my first initial step was just getting them secured personally, and then you know, transitioning the conversation into getting them on, you know, to be an affiliate, right?
Yeah.
So
no, sure. I mean, you always, of course, Michelle, you start normally. I mean, it depends, of course, what situation in life. I mean,
right.
Product or business partner, depend what you know of them, right?
Right. And then the other thing I was wondering as you were talking, because we are in these social media times, some of the the questions that you're telling us to ask, I was just here thinking like, I'm going to actually try it and see what the response is, but some of them I'm going to post them as like questions, you know, on Instagram, you know, and just kind of see how, and not generally, not specifically like being linked to Utopian Global, but just see how receptive people are when you put questions back at them, like what's more powerful, your lack or you know, and just start the conversation there, because then if you see someone that even likes it or comments, then you could then follow up, you know, in a private message and then start a conversation also. So maybe if we could try and like leverage our social media a little bit more, because sometimes having conversations are difficult, or getting in contact with people might find that also, you know, a bit of a hurdle. So that's just something that I was thinking as you were talking.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this really goes into the basically the relationship building, the getting leads training, meaning like how do you get leads? So how do you get in front of leads? And this is of course by the information you also put out, right? Meaning do you make people curious on your Facebook, on your social media? They're going to start following you. What do you put out? Are you putting valuable content? And you got to have this is what, you know, where you got to put this great mix out. Sometimes a good question, sometimes just a pointer, sometimes something private, sometimes something you just learned about and you're so excited about. So, you know, you make a little bit of a mixture of stuff, and this eventually will attract other people. And they look at, oh, Michelle just put up this. Oh, this is an interesting question. Michelle actually put up. So, you know, this is, we will have an organic growth. And then of course following the ATM strategy. So yeah, I mean, in order to build your profile, in order to have some interesting content, absolutely questions is always great. Only questions not. You got to always have the great mixture when on the Instagram. I haven't done I haven't done much lately because I still didn't have time because I'm moving. It's crazy or not, it's an excuse, I know, but really am. So literally,
but it takes time to make content. Like it takes time to make little flyers, and
it doesn't have to.
even
No, you shouldn't. It doesn't have to, Michelle.
You don't think so?
No, it doesn't. You can see this is again, there we go to duplication in. It doesn't have to. So you don't have to do what I do, you see. This is the point. So when you beginning in the beginning, you don't have to. In the beginning, you just put some video is anyway the best, not the anyway don't look at static things. So you put a little video out, you talk something, you maybe even do a video question. Hey, was just thinking about that. What's your guys' opinion? So it doesn't have to. It should not take.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, just do a
video question. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because people will do what you do, and it's not duplicatable. Now I have a little bit of also the position here being a trainer, so it's a little bit different. So I do a lot of for corporate stuff as well. Okay, so that's a little bit different. When let's say I would not do nothing like that, I would just play it basically only. Yeah, doing my own business. I wouldn't do necessarily. I would just basically being out there talking to people, because all those creation, you can do that if you want to become, let's say you want to, like Sean is branding himself as a, he's branding himself, and other people. So then eventually in branding, you will get better. You will have this and this and this and that, but you don't need to when you start out. You don't have to. I mean, there's people who build themselves a niche. Let's say they want to be recognized because they want to be that person. They want to be whatever it is. They want to be a coach for network marketing. They want to be a coach for health. They want to be a coach for this. And so they're going to brand themselves. But the business in itself, no, you don't have to. You don't have to do all this stuff. You can just put a product out. Hey, just read that about gold. Wow, I'm really shocked how much money the Fed printed. See the reactions. Simple.
Right. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking towards, to just trying to get people engaged in the conversation about wealth and just thinking outside of the box in the bank, So I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. So once you have really big team, once you really have a big team, you do big meetings, you organize big things. And so then you need to, of course, you will then create flyers. Look, Michelle is presenting there, Canada, get ready, guys.
No, but I already do that, like for other little things. Like it takes me no time to create a flyer, to be honest with you. It doesn't. But it was just the idea that I was saying I just wanted to put out to the group, because it only does take a few minutes, and we could use some of these keys to just start, getting the momentum going, and another way to addressing people without coming off very salesy or very pushy,
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great. Anybody else has a question, you guys?
Yeah, I see Michelle. She likes to use tools. I do too.
Yes.
And this is why we have the training, and this is why we have the websites, and this is why we have the YouTubes, and all these things that we interject into these folks to not be salesy, but to say, hey, you need to change your paradigm, change your thinking, look at something that is asset-based, real. Here's the proof. And then we sort of wind them in with regards of, what is your reason for contacting me? What is your reason for liking my post? What is your reason for, so I can address you directly? And then, hey, let's get on a Zoom.
Yeah. Thanks for liking my post. Hey, what's the most what it really stood out of you? Why did you like that? Or what's the most thing which stood out on that you liked it? So things like that you can ask, and then you get in a conversation, and maybe they answer back, maybe not, and so you will find where you're gonna lead them. And so as better you build a rapport, as more you know of them, and as better then you can figure out what would be the best approach, if it would be business or it would be, of course, the product. So,
and the magic word is power hour.
Correct.
Power hour. That is the only thing you have to focus on. You can forget about branding and stuff. You have plenty of time. You can brand yourself, but power hour is the key. If you spill, Claudia's got the first document. The first thing we did was the ATM system. Follow that. That is magic.
Yep, power hours. You follow that, Michelle, right?
I'm still, yeah, I'm still like going through all of the training tools and stuff like that. I'm still keeping my circle a little small when it comes to approaching everybody. Like I said, mindsets are a little bit different up here. So I'm still learning as I approach, but I'm taking note of it all.
But on the power hour, really the thing is that if we would do a focused power hour, 1 hour a day, and really go in social media and do those 15 minutes segments, you really
Oh
do that.
yeah. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's I've been doing. I'm trying to keep it again pretty neutral. I'm still trying because I guess I'm selling or try. I have different services and products that I'm offering to the public. So I'm trying to still pace it with every. I don't want to bomb everybody with too much information. I still want to come through my authentic and genuine self. You know, I don't want anybody to think that I'm out here trying to get their money, because as you mentioned, that's like the mindset of people that we have to overcome. So there's still a bit of strategy, but I think I spend a good amount of time. I try not to spend too much time on social media, just trying to get discussions going and create a variation of content.
Very good. And so you really should do it like the strict way, the 15 minutes, and you really got to watch out. Otherwise you become, it's too much, you know, and
right.
You got to watch your time, because even though you had more time, let's say, but watch your time, because that's just better for you, because then you can go off and do other stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, good. Any other questions, you guys? So are we now 1.5 hours into the training, or almost 2 hours? What is it here? That's a long time.
Almost an hour.
Yeah.
Nearly 2 hours.
All right.
Almost 2.
Okay.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you guys for being on so long with me. Yeah? And you got it again. You get the transcripts. Yes, you get you know, sometimes
PDF.
Sometimes it comes, and sometimes it just doesn't come in the language. So it comes in another language. It's just like, you know, sorry
it's
for
all
that.
Good. It's all good, Claudia.
So blocker.
Hey, good luck in your move. Be safe out there doing your move. But enjoy it. I know it's got to be a grand place.
No, no, unfortunately, we got discovered a asbestos in our house, and the whole street actually. And so everybody, snap. And it's, you know, the German authorities, and, you know, they're pretty damn strict. And so we have to move out for 3 months and then move back. So yeah, that's
crazy. Wow. Be safe.
Yeah, all good. It's all good. It's all good. Wednesday is my move. Thursday I'm having back internet. Well, I have tomorrow as well, a little bit internet, but yeah, so it's all gonna be good. All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you for your time, Claudia.
Welcome.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Claudia.
Bye, everybody.
Well, take care.
Yes.